Hi, Rob. Going into eighth, was it your plan to get 6 outs from Duran? And if so, how big was that offensive outburst in saving him potentially for tomorrow?
Yeah, that's what we were going to do, especially starting at bats. I believe we started in the eighth. Once we had it on, went to Kirk, and Kirk threw the ball great. So, yeah, it saved Duran for tomorrow.
First row in the middle.
Rob, what was the plan with Nola and Suarez coming in, and how close did they come to executing it exactly what you wanted?
Yeah, they pretty much did exactly what we wanted. We wanted to use those guys to get as close to Duran as we could to save some of the bullpen for tomorrow if we won. Nola was really good. The plan was to go one time through the lineup, and Ranger is on Ohtani. Ended at with Edmonds leading off the third, so he's 1 for 20 with 9 strikeouts against Rangers. And he hit the first pitch out of the ballpark. So, yeah, they executed perfectly.
I'm going to go to Marcus, second row.
How satisfying is it for you as a manager to come into a game that you have to win, literally a must-win, and have an unorthodox plan work out pretty much perfectly?
Yeah, it really is, and I give credit to the players for sure. You know, our offense was really good. We swung the bats. We had good at bats up and down the lineup. The first 4 guys in the lineup were 9 for 16. They kept grinding. They kept adding on. We had chances in other innings than the innings that we scored. So they just put pressure on them all night long. And yeah, Nola. Suarez, Kirkering, even Taiwan threw the ball well. He didn't really give up much exit velo, but they got some hits off him, and then Banks throws 1 pitch. So I thought we really played well all around.
Again, right here in the first row.
Rob, you guys seem to be pretty aggressive with Yamamoto early. Can you talk about that kind of get the guys into the flow at the plate, being able to attack fastballs right away?
Yeah, I think we had good at bats against them for sure, and we got them into some counts where we expected some fastballs, and I think the Schwarber home run just sort of woke everybody up and got a lot of energy going in the dugout.
Okay, Marcus, second row.
Part of your job as a manager is to get guys sort of able to flush what happened earlier, and you guys had you lost four in a row, I think, in the postseason.
Yeah.
And you came out here, and they seem to be, I don't know, focused, refreshed. I don't know. I mean, do you take a degree of satisfaction in that as well?
Well, they're an experienced group of guys, so they've been through this a little bit, and the one thing they did, I think, is they stayed in the moment, stayed relaxed. If you stay in the moment, trust the process, trust your teammates, and not really focus on the result, you have a better chance of getting to the result. And they did that, so I'm happy with them.
Did you, re-impress that upon them over the last couple of days?
Well, I think they do it inside the clubhouse very well. The veteran guys, they spread the word, and one game at a time, and that's kind of our motto today.
Okay, Paul.
Rob, I know you announced it after Game 2, but when did the Nola Ranger plan kind of first start to come together, and how long ago?
Well, it didn't happen till after Game 2 because we wanted to figure out where we're at, after that game, and then we sat down and talked about it and tried to figure out, okay, how do we navigate this lineup with using both those guys, and that's sort of what we came up with.
And then the 4th inning there, you guys don't have a hit yet. They just took the lead. How big is that Schwarber home run, and can one swing in a short series like that kind of turn everything around?
Yeah, it could, and we'll see about the rest of the series. But, certainly we had I thought we had hit some balls hard prior to that, too. Some balls deep, almost to the wall, to the warning track. So we're on Yamamoto decent, but I did think we had good at bats, and, the lineup woke up.
And just one more, Duran, I know you mentioned earlier, Dave Roberts was just in here and said, I would have loved to get him in the game. If he pitched 2 tonight, what would he have been available for tomorrow?
Well, 1, if any.
Okay, gonna go back to Marcus quick.
Excuse me. There's been a lot of you've taken a lot of criticism the last 3 seasons, including this one.
I have?
Yes, for some of the decisions you've made, and they haven't worked out. So the way the guys played as well. Have you felt that pressure going into, especially tonight, which was an elimination game, and has it affected you at all?
I don't think so. You know, I think that's part of this job, is that you make decisions, you plan it out. It's not like we're throwing stuff up in the air, but you plan it out. If it doesn't work, then yeah, there's criticism there. That's just part of the gig. It really is.
And finally, the uniforms, are you going to stay in the powder blues forever?
Well, not necessarily, because it's Major League Baseball's decision, depending on the home team's home uniform. If well, based on tonight, I would, but if their home colors match up with our powder blues, then they won't let us use them.
With that here, right?
The pitch clock violation, what kind of went into that? There was an argument about it, and at the time that was a pretty big at-bat.
Yeah, huge at-bat. And I think in that situation, I think you got to have a little bit of leniency, because, Bohm's at first base. He gets an intentional walk. The clock starts right away. Now he's trying to get his glove on, his sliding mat, and so Marsh is watching him, assuming, you shouldn't assume, but assuming that they're not starting anything until he's ready. But, the time ran out. But I think that there should be a little bit of feel there.
And then the second run you score, it's after Harper goes first to third, the throw gets away. Do you like him rolling the dice there, and what can kind of being aggressive do in a game like this?
Yeah, I think, you have to be aggressive. Sometimes you got to force the issue a little bit. And, he did and caused an error and got us a couple more runs.
Okay, last one, Marcus.
Probably the biggest story of the postseason, despite the Dodgers winning, is that Shohei's, I think, 1 for 14 with 7 strikeouts against you guys. Has the plan sort of worked, or is it a combination of maybe he's not where you expect him to be at this point?
Yeah, I really don't want to comment on that, because, he can explode at any time. He's that great of a hitter. But, we have pitched him well.
Hey, Trey, Kyle's home run in that 4th inning, how much did that just allow the team to just sort of exhale, relax, and kind of feel normal?
100%. I think, I said yesterday we were missing the slug, missing the homer, and no better person to do it than him. So I also thought, too, the at-bats right after that were great. So sometimes homers are rally killers, and to get those extra runs in that inning were big, and starts with him.
I know it's only 1 run, but when he hits the ball almost out of the stadium, does that make it seem even bigger at the time?
Yeah, it's ridiculous how far the ball went, but I just think like the vibes, the energy, it's something to build off of. Sometimes it's hard to create your own momentum, and you got to build off things like that. So no better way than ball leaving the stadium.
Okay, Marcus.
Trey, before the game, we talked about Rob's influence on the clubhouse. You guys were facing elimination, and a lot of the guys aren't going to be here next year, just the way the game works. What was his, if there was a message, what was his message to you guys since game 2, or was it just sort of business as usual? And either way, do you think it helped you guys do what you were able to do tonight? Yeah,
we just had a little quick meeting, nothing crazy, but just focus on the game, win today. I think we all know we're kind of pressing as a group in the first 2 games and wanting to win so bad, and we know we're really good. We just gotta play like we always do. So the message was just go 1-0 and worry about tomorrow. Today? Yeah, go 1-0 today and get to tomorrow. And I don't think anybody's feeling like it's our time to go home. We want to keep playing. So we're gonna have to do it again tomorrow. And today was a good start.
What was the meeting today?
Yeah, it was earlier today, a few hours before the game. Nothing crazy, just have fun, enjoy it, and this is why we play the game.
Okay, we're gonna go here on the right.
Aaron Nola kind of didn't have the year that everyone is used to. What did you make of the way he started things off for you guys to lead into Ranger, especially working around the ball that ends up a triple in the first inning?
Yeah, I didn't know the game plan was to go 2 innings, and when he came out, I was like, "What are we doing?" Because he looked really good, man. That's the Nola I've faced for years. It's the Nola I've seen pitch, a lot of good postseason games for us. So, when I saw 95 in that first inning and he was throwing strikes and spotting up, I felt like he was kind of back to his old self. So he's just calm, cool, collected out there, and he was making great pitches. And then Ranger picked up right where he left off. He gave up that early homer, but settled in, and that's exactly what we needed from both of them.
Okay, good, Paul. Other side.
Trey, Dave Roberts was in here and said, I wish we could have got Duran in the game. How big were those runs late to go from maybe him pitching 2 innings to maybe being available to pitch 2 tomorrow now?
Yeah, 100%. You don't ever want to give the other team any sort of hope, and sometimes you got to keep guys fresh, and I get all that, but you don't want to give any window or use arms that you don't need to use, and give the other team looks, because you face a guy 3-4 times in a series. I think that's a big advantage. So I think that was important to kind of keep him out of there and tack on runs and break it open and kind of put that one away.
And now you guys go from down 2-0, backs against the wall, all that, to you got your number 1 starter on the mound tomorrow. It's 2-1. You got some momentum. How are you guys feeling going into tomorrow?
We feel good. I think we match up with anybody really well, and it's just a matter of doing enough to win the game, and we didn't do that the first 2 days, and now we're kind of, like I said, in the hole, but we got the group of guys to pull ourselves out, and it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. It's a great team over there. They got plenty of superstars, good players, great pitching, and we're going to have to really play our best to do it, but it starts tomorrow, and today was a good start.
Okay. Wait. Anything else for Trey? You good?
Hi, Trey. Yamamoto was actually fine in the beginning of the game. What happened in fourth? What did you try, and what went right?
I just feel like we got some good pitches to hit. He's got great pitches. He's got 4 or 5 really good pitches. He's got good stuff, good velocity. It's a matter of getting the ball in the middle of the zone and getting some traffic out there, getting him in the stretch. And sometimes you can catch a break here or there. Kyle hits the homer and Bryce gets on base and then goes to first, third, pretty aggressive play, and end up making something out of it and getting in a good situation. And then I forget who hit the sac fly, maybe JT or Marsh. But that's just good baseball. And sometimes it's not really something that he does. It's just running the bases well, taking your at-bats, and moving guys over and getting guys in from third base when there's less than 2 outs. Those are important situations. So, he's a great pitcher, and we know that. It's just you got to take advantage of those opportunities, and today we did.
Okay, if we have nothing else for Trey, we're going to let him go, and we'll talk to Kyle. All right, thanks, Trey. All right, what we got for Kyle?
Start ball here in the first row.
Kyle, I know the first 2 games didn't go the way you wanted personally or for the team, and you kept saying, I'm fine right by my swing. But how good did that one feel in the 4th inning? Team's got no hits, and you give them a big one and even the score.
Yeah, felt good, right? I mean, hits are great, guys on base great, anything like that. Any sort of pressure, and when you get an instant run right there, especially you're able to answer back there. Ranger comes in, gives up the home run, but he settled right in after that, which was awesome. But I think Knowles too. Did a phenomenal job for us. Just the way that we lined it up, it worked out, and to get the answer back, and then for us to keeping those at bats going. Like he said, Bryce, big at bat, goes first to third, aggressive play, puts the pressure on them. Going to be bang bang, and kicks off, goes into the dugouts, run scores, Ballmer the third, and Marcy gets that sac fly. So those are all big key things for us as we keep moving forward. Going into tomorrow, that we want to keep pressure on any way possible, and I felt like we kept that going through the game. I didn't get the job done there against Banda, but felt like we still had those highest pressure pitches going. And like we said, Ranger did a fantastic job, kept everyone right there for us to keep eventually to crack through and have another big inning.
You passed Bernie Williams on the postseason home run list, your 3rd all-time. A, what does that mean to you? And B, a handful of those have gone 450-plus feet. Is there something about playing in the playoffs that just take it to another level?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been very fortunate to be in a lot of postseason games in my career, and it's just the best form of baseball. I sincerely believe it that it doesn't matter. Like I said, you could be hitting 100 or you could be hitting 500. Did you win the game at the end of the day? That's all that matters. So, that's why it's just such a fun format. You're just grinding. You're trying to find a way to win a baseball game, and it's going to work out. Sometimes it's not going to work out. But at the end of the day, the preparation is still going to be there. The intensity is going to be there, and the buy-in from everyone's going to be there.
With the frustrations that were around the team the first two games, whether it's you or anybody else that hitting that home run, do you feel like that was almost a sigh of relief for the team? Like, okay, now we can go out there and do our thing?
I mean, I think just trying to get back and respond there after they score a run is a big thing for us. I feel like we've done a really good job throughout the course of my time here. I feel like that we do a really good job of responding whenever something goes against us. And I feel you can even look back at the first couple games, that we were in striking distance every single time. Obviously, they're in the ninth inning too, in game two. We were responding. So that's something that we have a knack for here. That's something that's never going to leave us. We have to keep that same feeling, that same fight. But it's just nice to get the answer back, and then obviously another great at bat, and then we just kept it going.
Okay, we got anything else for Kyle? We're going to go here in the middle, first row.
I know it only counts for one run, whether it lands in the first row or goes 455 feet. But when you hit that ball, everybody in the stadium kind of goes, whoa, and can't believe how far it goes. What's your reaction when you see the ball travel like that?
I mean, when I hit it, I knew it's a home run, right? I didn't even see where it landed. I was looking in the dugout, kind of trying to get the guys going, and get back in the dugout. Everyone's high-fiving, and then I knew I hit it good. I just didn't know where it went, and then eventually someone tells me, and then you can watch it on video where it goes. So, I was just more focused on our guys there, where I don't care. Like you said, it could go in the first row. It could hit the freaking that board right there, right? I don't care, but hits are great, homers are great, walks are great. Anything positive for our offense is going to be great. And but yeah, it was a cool moment.
You stay right here.
So the pitching plan tonight was a little unorthodox, but obviously very successful. From your perspective, like, how did you see it? With Nola going just those first two, but really being strong, and then Ranger was like ice.
Yeah, I mean, it was wow. I'm looking around, and Knowles is doing his thing, and you see him start giving the handshakes, and it's just we got our game plan right, and we're going to stick to our guns, and we're going to go with their game plan, and I'm just like, man, this guy's throwing the ball so well, but I think that maybe he gets if he gets another shot at this, that he's going to do the same thing for us. He's been so big for us over the last 3+ years in the postseason now that he's not going to be faced by any moment. And then, like you said, Ranger, he's done so many different positive things for us in the postseason, coming out of the bullpen in 22, closing out an LCS game. Obviously had some really big starts for us, gotten us deep in the games, and then he comes out of the bullpen again tonight, and it's the natural reaction to think is after a first pitch home run that someone's going to be rattled, and he was just able to keep his composure like he always does, and just executed pitches the whole night. And you can't say enough about even both staffs. Our staff has been doing a fantastic job going out there, making it tough to get something going. And so is their staff, right? That it's been a heavyweight battle of two starting pitching staffs out there. So we know the battle's going to be. We know it's not going to be easy, but like Trey said, we know that we have the guys to do this, and we're going to keep fighting and scratch and clawing for anything that we can get.
You take one last one, Marcus.
You've your whole career has been like during the blossoming of analytics, so you've seen a lot of weird things, and you've had a lot of managers. What does it say about? Have you ever seen anything as strange as what you saw tonight from the pitching aspect? And what does it say about Rob Thomson that he's willing to do that in a must-win game because that's just the way he feels it should be?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of different things in the postseason. Heck, I mean, in Chicago, I've seen Travis Wood go from the mound to going out the left field and making a sick catch in the ivy and coming back in the game and pitching. Like, I've seen a lot of different things, but, like I said, we had our game plan. That was our game plan. We stuck with our guns, right? We knew that we wanted to get Knowles out there and set the tone, and he was able to do that for 2 innings. And Ranger comes in, and we know Ranger's a weapon for us, so we're going to deploy all weapons at any time. These are obviously must-win games, so there's going to be no, bullets being left in the left. Right? We're going to use everything that we have. The try to win baseball games here because it's win or go home. So, we did it. It worked out, and that's how it should be. It is what it is, but. Like I said, I hope Knowles gets another shot at this because, like I said, he's been so huge for us.
What does it say about Rob that he's willing to do something this unorthodox in this moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows. It shows that he's going to be doing anything that he feels like is going to be the right move to win a baseball game. And for how unorthodox it is, yeah, right. You want your starter to go out there and give you 7 innings. But also, too, we have 2 guys who are 2 very quality starters. So we wanted to make sure that both these guys go out there and they do their thing, and it worked. And I don't know what's ahead of us. I know we got Sancho going tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. And they have another really good starter going tomorrow. So you never know what you'll see in a postseason baseball game, but you just got to make sure you go out there and play great defense, take great at-bats, 27 outs, and go from there.
Kyle, if you don't mind, just take one more on the right-hand side over here.
Sorry. Kyle, were you surprised that you got a second look at Clayton Kershaw? And how much did that second look, you think, helped you in that at-bat?
Yeah, I mean, I've faced Kersh for, years now. And, I mean, he's, undoubtedly one of the probably top, I don't know how many starting pitchers in baseball, right? This guy's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And I have a lot of respect for Clayton and for how he goes about his business, and I know that he's going to be leaving baseball after this year. So we just from all of us and the opposing side, we all have a ton of respect for him. Obviously, first off, but yeah, I mean, having those at bats and seeing him, right, that. It's always nice to have a recent, familiarity, I guess, right, of seeing pitches. So, I think I didn't see a fastball there the first at bat. I think it was mostly all sliders in a curveball. And yeah, he just kind of missed with the fastball middle end. I was able to get to it and snuck it just out enough. But like I said, he's always a unique guy with unique pitches, and so anytime you get to see him back-to-back times, I think that could be beneficial.